Back in the book segment tonight, Rolling with Corolla. We begin with a new dictum from Washington State. No longer can state employees use the word penmanship. It is now handwriting. Why? Because the word man in penmanship apparently offensive. Here now, the former host of The Man Show, Adam Carolla, who joins us from Los Angeles. So if you were doing The Man Show now, it would be the handwriting show. Correct?
It will be the People Show or the Ma'am Show, anything but the Man Show.
The point is that people, Americans, see, it's all our fault, Carolla. It's the folks' fault. Because we accept this, that penmanship can no longer be said. Now, I'm going to go out and say penmanship as much as I can, and I want everybody else to do it too in Washington State. Even if it's not in, just go out every morning and go, penmanship, across the whole state, because we have to fight back, Carolla.
Yeah, you're going to lose your job faster when they think you're insane, by the way, Bill.
Well, I mean, then I would have lost it a long time ago.
But look at it this way. I mean, you just take something like immigration. It used to be illegal alien. Remember illegal alien? Yeah. And then became illegal immigrant. And then it is now unauthorized immigrant, and pretty soon it's going to be border heroes.
But here's my favorite. Here's my favorite. All right, article in the Washington Business Journal says that many realtors across the country will no longer use the term master bedroom. All right, because it has a slave connotation. Now, if you want to buy a home, it isn't the master bedroom, it's the owner's suite. Now, I thought the owner's suite was when you watch a football game with the owner of the football team. But apparently, it's a bedroom.
This is going to affect the auto industry as well, because in every car on the highway, there's a master cylinder. And if you drive a stick, there's a slave cylinder, which actuates the clutch. So we're going to have to fix that one. And the bigger point is this. Hey, lawmakers, hey, politicians, how about you start doing what we want you to do, which is fill the potholes, which is get the school systems up and running, which is weed out the sleeper cells with the Al-Qaeda living amongst us. Start doing what we want you to do instead of your long 6-year projects to correct handwriting or to go from this to that. Nobody cares about these titles. It doesn't fix a thing. It doesn't get anyone a job. It doesn't build a dam. It doesn't
what it does is it suppresses conversation. Let me give you a list. Even you will be amazed at this, Carolla. If you are on a train, you're no longer a brakeman. You're a brake operator. If you run the company, you are not the chairman. You hold the position of chair. The position of chair. Okay? Dairyman?
Yeah.
No. Dairy farmer. Okay? Not dairymen. Fisherman? Just Fisher. Just Fisher. I thought Carrie Fisher. Is she getting carp? No. You can't be a fisherman. Flagman, flagger. Foreman, jury person. Freshman in college. First year student. Okay?
Right.
Ranchman,
Bill,
ranchers.
by the way,
go ahead.
I tried the position of chair last night with my wife, and I threw out my lower back.
Okay. And that has another connotation there that you may be sued over. So we're having here is a contraction of the language. You know, it used to be that the masculine pronoun was used, all right, for everyone. You cannot do that anymore. You cannot even have proper grammar anymore as far as what was handed down to us from the British. No more. And this gender stuff, I think, is totally out of control. Last word, Carolla, make it a good one.
Well, my point is, does it fix anything? I want to fix things. You know what I mean? American Indian, indigenous people, Indian, Native American. Okay, we can call anyone anything we want, but let's work on the problem, not work on the title and forget the problem.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because it is no longer the Cleveland Indians. We're breaking this tonight. It's the Cleveland Indigenous.
I don't know, Bill.
Okay, in your
I don't think
podcast,
well on my
Carolla,
feet.
I want you to come up with 5, and this is your assignment, homework assignment. 5
I
things
shall.
that rhyme with indigenous. All right, Adam Carolla, there he is, everyone.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Well, you know you do. That's right, you do. 3 p.m. Eastern. You know what that means. That's right, on this Friday the 20th of February 2015, it is, of course, HTLA at Radio 1 New York. You've got it locked to. And today's Coffee and Cigarettes, the Friday Frappacino. And today on the show, I've got some things to lighten up your Friday and just kick off the weekend in style, I think. That's where I'm going to go. Yeah, you betcha. Today on the big show, and in the interest of shutting down your week with a bang, a record freeze for the Northeast worsens while Obama heats up Washington with his profession of undying love for the USA. Yes, and he kicks Rudy Giuliani in the bag on Twitter. Also on the show today, Elsa of Disney's Frozen is wanted by authorities. Yeah, you bet. HPD has issued an arrest warrant for Queen Elsa of Arendelle. Yes, the suspect is a blonde female last seen wearing a long blue dress and is known to burst into song, Let It Go. Yes, and as you can see by the weather, she is very dangerous too. Do not attempt to apprehend her alone. And hey, how about that Kim Jong-un, huh? Yeah, he gets a haircut. So what? Why is that news? Well, let's just put it this way. It's not your dad's haircut, that's for sure. We got all that and so much more today. So come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and of course, light one up. It's coffee time. Yes, the theme we all know and love on this fine coffee and cigarette shoe. Yes. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever it may be to you. Right now it's 3:03 in the afternoon in New York. 16 degrees in Central Park right now. Sunny, although it's certainly not warm at 16. No, it's not. But who cares? We're safely in the house here. We got it all down the house here. And speaking of in the house, of course, the one and only social media goddess, Jenny McCartney, is in the booth, pushing those buttons, making the show go. And yes, that sip does mean that today's show is brought to you by Tim Hortons New York City, now with 8 locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. And man, that's all I need. Just coffee and a couple of smokes. Also joining us live via satellite, because damn it, he wants it that way, is the one, the only Louis Lawless.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, sir, I do have that.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
You can, but I'm ready with the button.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
See, there you go. I got you.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
That's right, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dispense some love. Also joining us from an undisclosed secret location, likely in California or Florida, is the one, the only Kirstie Alley. Hello, Kirstie.
A lot of the times we are happy with each other because we're together and we are our own support system. So, but right now, I mean, I feel good. I feel great to be here. It does give you a viewpoint of, you should freaking feel good to be here.
Yeah, you should. Yes, and you are still doing Jenny Craig, yes?
Well, I'm doing Jenny Craig, and I'm the Jenny Craig spokesperson.
Right.
I did it before. I lost weight. I kept it off for 3 years. Then I started slowly gaining it back. To me, they wanted to help me. You can't really help someone unless they want help. I'm really sticking to the program, and the difference this time for me is that I'm really hard-headed. It's like, I used to be a cocaine addict, right? Well, addict, whatever you want to call him. But I'm hard-headed, so it took me 4 times to go, I'm not doing this anymore. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. And then the last time I was just like, this is ruining my life. Once I come to that point with anything, that's what I've come to with gaining weight. This is freaking wasting my time, ruining my life. And I'm sort of an analytical person. So it's like, I'm done.
Right. Okay. Well, good. That's good that you're still doing that. And yeah. Also joining us from his home in Los Angeles, California, is the one, the only George Takei. Yes.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
That's good, George. Thank you.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
I think so, Kirsten.
I've said too much.
No, you haven't.
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do when you live in the shoe? George, give the folks a little rundown about you, please.
I'm George Takei, and when I'm walking down the street, people shout out, "Hey, Sulu!" So I'm known more as Sulu than as George Takei, which is what I really am.
Yes. You are George Takei. Oh, my. And, of course, George, Sulu is the character from Star Trek, yes?
I've done Star Trek, the series, and the movie series up to the 6th one.
Right. Yes, which, of course, was my favorite. Yes. And we went through that whole thing the other day when I told you all about... well, I guess my Star Trek movie experience. Yes. There's actually only 2 films, not 6 there. It'd be, The Wrath of Khan would be Star Trek 1, and then The Undiscovered Country would be Star Trek 2, yes.
You are a douchebag.
Well, yeah, and those 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13, and 14 Star Trek films, yeah, I don't count those either. Yeah, so welcome one and all to the great show today. Thank you for being here.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you? Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't bat an eye.
Oh, my.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss, as I always do on the show?
No, you can't. No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. If you do it once, I'll beep you. Yeah, so welcome, everybody, and let's see. What's the first item up for bids on the old coffee is cigarette right here. Yeah, well, record cold freezes, of course, in the entire eastern United States. Shut up, George. Yes, a bitter record-setting cold air mass swept its icy grip on much of the central and eastern U.S. Today, bringing sub-zero temperatures and showing no sign of relief next week for winter-weary residents from Florida to New England. Yeah. At least 72 record-low temperatures were broken Friday morning, all the way from Marquette, Michigan at minus 26 degrees, all the way down to and even including Miami at only 42 degrees. In Minnesota, the community of Cotton posted an overnight low of minus 42 without wind chill factor. The National Weather Service reports in western Pennsylvania, temperatures dipped to minus 18 in some areas. An eddy of the polar vortex is leading to the coldest weather of this recent cold spell, creating a deep layer of bitterly cold air along with gusty winds. Yes, in Lynchburg, Virginia, they plummeted to minus 11 degrees this morning, setting a new all-time record low. Flint, Michigan as well tied its all-time record low of minus 25, while Cleveland set an all-time February low of minus 17. Washington's Reagan National Airport registered a 6-degree low on Friday, beating the 119-year-old record low for the day of 8 degrees. New York City's Central Park dipped to only 2 degrees, breaking a 1950 mark of 7. Baltimore's airport posted a low of 2 degrees, besting the previous record of 4 degrees set back in 1979. And amazingly, at 25 degrees, it was warmer in Anchorage, Alaska than it was in Atlanta, where the temperature bottomed out at 15 degrees this morning. After sub-zero overnight lows from Illinois to Western Virginia, highs on Friday are expected to struggle to get out of the teens, according to the Weather Service. Nor is winter ready to give up for the year as February comes to a close. The Weather Service says that the latest band of Arctic air could plunge parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic into deep freezes that haven't been felt since the mid-1990s. As the cold air mass settles in, more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is forecast to set the stage for what the Weather Service calls an ice event across portions of the lower Mississippi and Tennessee valleys into the early weekend. Sleet and freezing rain is expected from Missouri to northern Georgia, changing over to rain Saturday on the East Coast. Snow will change to a wintry mix and eventually to rain for many areas of the mid-Atlantic. We're very concerned about the added weight, triggering a new round of roof collapses in New England and parts of upstate New York, says AccuWeather meteorologist Mark Paquette. It's not good out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not. And of course, you know, what do I find? Back in my hometown, at the beginning of this month, they were, of course, saying, "Oh, the crocuses are blooming, and we're doing our annual flower count." Why did I move to the east?
You are a douchebag.
I know. But I might be a douchebag, but I know that Kirsty is a fun mom.
I think I'm a fun mom most of the time, but I think I really expect a work ethic.
Yes.
So there's no slackers. And it drives me nuts when somebody sleeps in past 11 o'clock.
11, yeah. A bunch of slackers.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, yes, there is that, isn't there? But please don't talk about England again. You're bringing up bad memories, Louis.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that... Yeah? You think so, huh?
No, no, I don't. Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
You're going to get yourself fired if you don't watch that there, buddy.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, that's true. And speaking of corrupt power and jobs, President Obama, now fully on the record, of course, professes his undying love of the United States and kicks Rudy Giuliani in the bag on Twitter. Rudy Giuliani and other critics of President Obama are daring reporters to find examples of Obama expressing love of country. Well, it's not a very difficult challenge with regard to this president or any other. Those speechwriters really know how to write. Well, like his predecessors, Obama often praises the United States and its people in terms of historic accomplishments, military readiness, global leadership, and yes, love. God bless this country we love, Obama said in last month's State of the Union speech. The night he won re-election in 2012, Obama used the I word in praising Republican opponent Mitt Romney. Quote, "We may have battled fiercely, but it's only because we love this country deeply and we care so strongly about its future." Back during his first president campaign in 2008, in a commercial on values, Obama said, "I approve this message because I'll never forget those values, and if I have the honor of taking the oath of office as president, it will be with a deep and abiding faith in the country that I love." So stick that in your pipe, Giuliani, and smoke it. Yeah, I don't know, but there it is. That's it. He's on the love path, I guess it is. We don't say the war path, we say the love path. The love path. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm a Shakespeare buff.
I know. George, I know. We'll get to that. Right now, we got to go for our first 2-minute commercial break. And when we come back, what do you think I got? Do you think I got more Obama news? Well, I do. Yes. The official White House hashtag response to Giuliani on Twitter. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
There you go. You are listening to New York's Best Talk, HTLA Radio 1, New York. Yes, 3:20 in the afternoon right now on Friday, the 20th of February, 2015. Well, it's 17 actually right now, Central Park. It's it's a little silly. It just is. It's all kinds of wrong.
And I got lost. HTLA. Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
That's go back to the music, Louis.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, and who doesn't? You know, especially on the old Twitter.
Tweet. Now we're on Twitter and we tweet together.
Yes, and we're kicking politicians in the bag on Twitter. Yeah, we're just grabbing them by the ears and giving it everything we got. Yeah. Well, if you're just joining us, you are listening to Coffee and Cigarettes, the Friday Frappuccino, the big Friday show to send you off into your, I don't know, weekend stupor, whatever you want to call that. But, yeah, we got a good show for you today. We've been talking some Obama. We've been talking some frozen, freezing, nasty Northeastern. Yeah, it's just not good.
About fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, easy for you to say there, Crocus Sprouter guy there, and yeah. So yeah, let's roll this sucker, shall we? Let's get back to what's going on, and what is going on, of course, is Obama. He's grabbing Giuliani by the ears, and he's giving her all he's got right between the legs. Yes, he is. The White House issued a not-so-subtle response in social media to Rudy Giuliani's claim that the president doesn't really love America. A White House tweet Thursday about the designation of 3 new national monuments carried the hashtag Obama Loves America. And Giuliani, the former Republican mayor of New York, has said Wednesday, quote, "I do not believe, and I know this is a horrible thing to say, but I do not believe that the president loves America. He doesn't love you, and he doesn't love me. He wasn't brought up the way you were brought up, and I was brought up through love of this country." And that has earned him the Obama Loves America kicking the balls hashtag right there, ladies and gentlemen. While many Democrats attacked Giuliani's comments, the White House had little to say publicly. White House spokesman Eric Schultz, noting that Giuliani himself has been doing damage control since the comments surfaced, said that, quote, "I will say I agree with him on one thing he said, which is that it was a horrible thing to say." Yes. There you go. And you know what afternoon, Friday afternoon, kick off the weekend kind of show would we be if we didn't indeed have some Brian Williams news?
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Well, that's okay. You know, well, you should actually. You should actually expect that.
I think when you see the insanity in things, once I saw the insanity of drugs and really what it was doing to my life, I stopped.
Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. You've got it right from the horse's mouth there. I'm not calling you a horse, actually, Kirsty. I know you're a beautiful, attractive woman. You're dating, right?
I've been going out on dates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a good date.
No?
Because if I'm not interested in them very much at the beginning of dinner, I just, not mean. I'm not mean, but I'm too aloof. You know, it's like if they said something and if a guy's not funny and they think they're funny, I'm like,
okay, all right, that's fair.
You know, when you find someone when you're younger, you're going to have kids and you're going to have, you know, you're going to create this life together. I don't know what the hell I would create with someone now.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, Again, Louis, with the incredible quotes. That's just too much. Now, before we continue on with the Brian Williams story, I do have to set aside just a little bit of time for George to tell us about his Shakespeare experience. George?
Well, I'm a Shakespeare buff. I went to the Shakespeare Institute at Stratford-upon-Avon in England.
Right.
And Shakespeare loved the language. I mean, he used it gloriously and vividly, colorfully. And so, being a Shakespeare buff, I enjoy language too. And so I use words that are descriptive, that are specific, and that are that have content.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'll charge you for my dictionary service.
No, that's okay. You don't actually have to do that. I'm sure we'll get along quite nicely without that. Okay, I think we can do that. Okay, all right. Well, yes, Brian Williams, the NBC great that you all know and love and are well aware, no doubt, of the recent incidents involving some, I don't know, let's see, what's the correct thing to say here? Stretched truth? Is that, we can do that, right?
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that, yeah? You think so, huh?
No, I don't.
Oh, my God. Well, suspended NBC News chief anchor Brian Williams has resigned from the Congressional Medal of Honor Foundation's board of directors. The organization has announced today. Williams, 55, had served on the board since September 2006, the foundation said Thursday in a notice on its website. NBC News has suspended Williams for 6 months without pay over his now retracted statement that he was in a helicopter in Iraq that was hit by enemy fire and forced to land. The network has also launched an investigation into circumstances of the Iraq incident and past allegations of embellishment, including a challenge to his account of his experiences in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina. The Congressional Medal of Honor Foundation was founded by the Congressional Medal of Honor Society, which consists exclusively of the living Medal of Honor recipients. The organization gave no reason for Williams' resignation. NBC News has asked Williams not to give any interviews during his suspension, so they've put him on a media blackout. So I don't know, it's kind of, what do you say to that, if the guy's making up some stories, that's great, but I mean, people seem to, kind of equate everything that the man has ever reported on as being lies. And that's kind of not fair, is it? I mean, let's be honest. The man reads from a teleprompter for a living. Okay, so I'm thinking that's probably, something to do with that. Yeah. But as for his comments outside the news anchor desk, of course, well, that's where things get a little dicey, and that's pretty much what you got there. So, yeah, Brian, not feeling bad for you, not feeling sorry for you, but pretty much, I'm sitting here saying, why do we care? Here's a question. Why do we really care? I don't understand. I mean, the guy's just a news anchor, right? What's the big deal? I don't get that at all.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Well, George, he's not like a celeb like you. I mean, it'd be different if you said, well, we were put into a Japanese internment camp and they strung us up and they put us in ovens and they gassed us and, treated us like the Jews. That's something you wouldn't be able to come back from, right? Of course. But this thing here, so what? He's a news anchor. I don't, I just don't understand.
I've said too much.
Yes, of course, Kirsty. Please, yes.
I don't know. It was my life dream to be an actress and have monkeys.
Really? Monkeys again?
I want to have monkeys.
Well, all right, then. You can have your monkeys.
Oh, I have a bajillion animals, and I have animal wranglers. You know, you have to have people working for you to take care of the animals.
Well, yes. I mean, you couldn't just, heaven forbid you take care of the things yourself.
I have compounds for them. I go around when I go around the country, I tour places, even around the world, and I'm going to go look at the lemur compounds to see how the big guys do it.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. Well, on to Disney news now. Yes, very serious here, folks. Yeah, this is actually from USA Today. Brings us this joy. Nothing. I guess it's a cold day in news, but official story: Elsa of Frozen is wanted by police. Yes. Who's to blame for the cold? Well, Queen Elsa of the hit Disney movie Frozen, of course. The Harlan City Police Department of Kentucky have issued an all-points bulletin for Elsa on the department's Facebook page. Yes, because we all know that, if you want anything credible to go out, it's got to be Facebook or Twitter. Right. Right. The Harlan City Police Department says, quote, all points bulletin, HPD has issued an arrest warrant for Queen Elsa of Arendelle. Suspect is a blonde female last seen wearing a long blue dress and is known to burst into song, quote, let it go, end quote. As you can see by the weather, she is very dangerous. Do not attempt to apprehend her alone. If you do catch her, let her go. Not unless she freezes your hands. I guess you'd have to see the movie to actually have a clue what these ding-dongs are actually talking about.
I think when you see the insanity in things, once I saw the insanity of drugs and really what it was doing to my life, I stopped.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Harlan City Police Department has stopped. Doesn't she have a diplomatic immunity, posted Terrence Nolan of Las Vegas on the department's Facebook page. I mean, she's a head of state and all. Diplomatic. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? Ha ha. Obviously, the Harlan City Police is not really looking for Elsa, but it is cold in Kentucky. The state was in the single digits on Thursday the 12th. All kidding aside, though, the weather has been very dangerous and temperatures will get worse, posted the department. Everyone please take precautions, stay safe and warm, stay off the roads unless it's an emergency. Watch out and help others who may need help. HPD is doing a great job during this time, but it takes everyone working together. Now, if only someone can find Elsa's glove. There you go. So, never let it be said that on this lovely show, we don't bring you the hard-hitting stories that matter to you. Okay? Or, well, yeah, you can, actually. Okay, it doesn't matter.
He has my phone number, so he could call me at any time.
Who is that? Is that the police?
He called me, and he called me. He kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Who is this he you speak of, you people? Is it really? Yeah? Is it George? Are you calling these folks?
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Well, maybe not, but well, maybe they. I don't know. Tell us about gay bars, George.
As I grew up, I made another discovery. There were places called gay bars.
There we go. Thank you very much.
All right, go a half an hour so I get $50,000.
You don't need any money, Louie.
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Award.
No, you don't.
And I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and you have to give them a DVD now.
Yeah, that's one hell of an expensive DVD, I'm saying. Well, we are going to get into probably the best story of the entire pre-weekend show right here. And we're going to do it right after the commercial break. So stay tuned, because after these awesome commercials, Kim Jong-un's new haircut. And you kind of won't believe it, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I'm a Shakespeare buff.
George.
I went to the Shakespeare Institute at Stratford-upon-Avon.
Yes, we know. Thank you.
Well,
yes, right. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, gang. Hang tight.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, you went to Tim's? Yeah, I got a latte and I got you your French vanilla. Thanks. Très bien. Alors, French vanilla? Oui, and they were only $1. Really? Wait, why are you talking with a French accent? Oh, I thought we were doing a thing. No, it's because of my French vanilla. Oh.
Indulge in Tim Hortons creamy French vanilla, rich cafe mocha, or irresistible latte. Now only $1. At participating restaurants for a limited time. Small discounts.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
This is Ron. Hello. He's the kind of guy who holds the door for people. He never says no to pet sitting for his neighbors. He still helps his friends move. And at work, he loves nothing better than picking up coffees for everybody. Unless, of course, he accidentally forgets someone or gets an order wrong. That's why Ron was excited when Tim Hortons introduced Timmy Run. All he had to do was get everyone in the office to register, input their favorite beverages, and how they like them. Now, when Ron decides to make a run to Tim Hortons, and he's wondering if any of his friends or colleagues would like a beverage too, all Ron has to do is log into Timmy Run and click on Start a Timmy Run. Then, everyone receives an email alert. If they want to get in on the run, they just select what they want. And all the orders get consolidated into one simple list, which Ron can print off or read from his phone when he arrives at Tim Hortons. Thanks to Timmy Run, when Ron arrives back at the office, everyone gets exactly what they want. And no one gets left out. In other words, everyone ends up happy. Very happy. Timmy Run, the coffee run made easier.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, yes, we are, and yes, you are listening to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1, New York. Right now, 3:39 in the city, 17 degrees Central Park. Down another one from the last commercial. It just, I'm just going to say it, it just sucks.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
Are we? Are you up here in the great Northeast freezing with us, huh?
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Yes.
He called me, and he called me. He kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Well, that's true, Louie. I did, and then you wouldn't answer the phone, so I got Jenny to phone, and man, you were on that thing like no tomorrow. You were.
You being Catholic, you realize that you can't have birth control. You realize that?
Of course.
I said too much.
No, you haven't.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Yes, they're hurting. Look that one up in the dictionary there, George.
Well, I'll charge you for my dictionary service.
Yeah, you're just always charging me, aren't you?
You are a douchebag.
I know. I get that a lot. Well, welcome back to the show. Coffee and Cigarettes, your Friday Frappuccino. We are kicking off the weekend with this barn burner, let me tell ya. And we've had everything from the nationwide warrants out for Elsa of Disney's movie Frozen to Obama kicking Rudy Giuliani in the bag on the Twitter. Yeah.
Tweet. Now we're on Twitter and we tweet together.
Oh, would you stop? I'm serious. You don't even acknowledge me. Come on. Yeah, so the big news. I think this should have been today's top story. This should have been it. But no, Jenny was like, no, we're doing this instead. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
I love Mr. T. Yes, we're going to have him on the show, damn it, too. We'll replace, I don't know, Louie. Yeah.
Power, that's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job.
Yes, we're just going to can the lawless because he's just nutty and screaming in theaters.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
And yeah, that'll happen. And geez, you could have at least had the decency to remember what movie it was you got kicked out of. God. Anyway, so in true coffee and cigarette style and form, I now bring you the story of Kim Jong-un's new haircut. It raises eyebrows, literally. Yeah. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, already known for his unique hairstyle, is making waves with a new do that's fuller and boxier on top. And he's tightly trimmed eyebrows to boot. The fuller mane appears to defy gravity in photos, making the rounds on social media right now. Yes, again, the credible news source of Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, the new do appears to be an exaggeration of a style that he's been sporting since last year that included more compact eyebrows. Stay stylish, Kim. Yes, the Kim Jong new haircut, higher sculpted top, accessorized with, well, they're saying chiseled eyebrows. Not really chiseled, actually. More like 3/4 missing. Yes, they're. I don't. It's like two little Hitler mustaches on his forehead. I don't know what that is, but yeah. And of course, what credible Twitter news story would be complete without somebody photoshopping Kim Jong-un's hairstyle on Obama. Yes. How would Obama look in the Kim Jong-un haircut? Well, you can find out, of course, on the credible news source, twitter.com. It's just something wrong with all that kind of stuff. Kirsty, do you have a salon you go to, or how do you get your hair cut? Who cuts your hair?
I bribe children. I pay them $10 an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess that's nice and cheap.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
Yes, and the other beauty about you is you don't talk about Scientology.
Yes,
that's right. I love you. Yeah. So there's the big Kim Jong-un. That's the fun story. That'll if you I tell you, if you go and check out Twitter and check out the pics, that will make your weekend right there. It just will, Kim Jong-un picks and a fifth of Jack Daniels is going to be my weekend. Yeah?
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Louis, for keeping the show rolling. Where would we be without you? Well, tune in next week to find out. Yeah.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
I know. You said that.
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession, and that was the women.
He just pitied the fool, and
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the females, and he went and got them and gave them a note, and every 20 or 30 minutes they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure. Right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business, yes.
I like doing interviews when people ask me questions that no one else asks me. If it's the same question that I'm asked, I think I turn into a robot. I'm going to make you a deal. When I am having sex, I am going to call you. I'm going to call in. I'm going to have early morning sex.
Mm-hmm.
All the sounds that are appropriate. If the guy's bad, I'm going to go, this guy cannot a tree.
Well, yeah, please do. Absolutely would be interested in that.
Oh, my.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Well, thank you for that, Louis. Yes, I love Mr. T, too. Yeah, so what is the next story up for bids on the old coffee is right here. Well, a Virginia First Lady, or a former Virginia First Lady, gets a year and a day for corruption charges. Yeah. Richmond, Virginia today, Maureen McDonald, the wife of former Governor Bob McDonnell, was sentenced to 12 months and 1 day today in a corruption scheme that also netted prison time for her husband. Oh, isn't that nice? I love politicians. Yes, a jury in September convicted the McDonalds of doing favors for former Star Scientific CEO Johnny Williams in exchange for more than $165,000 in incredible gifts and prizes. The gifts included about $20,000 in designer clothing and accessories Williams purchased for Maureen McDonald during a Manhattan shopping spree, and an engraved $6,500 Rolex watch she gave to Bob McDonnell as a Christmas present. Williams also paid for vacations and golf outings. Prosecutors were recommending a sentence of 18 months for Maureen McDonnell. Her attorneys were expected to argue that public humiliation she endured during the 6-week trial is punishment enough. Well, you know, I'm going to say that unless she's stripped bare naked, tied spread eagle in the middle of a street somewhere, having her little nether regions whipped, and yes, that is a fantasy of mine, you can't really use humiliation there, officer, lawyer, whatever your name is. Yes, attorney. They were asking the judge, of course, to let her off with probation and 4,000 hours of community service work. Anything but the big house, Your Honor. Oh.
Okay, good. We're in pretty good company.
What? Oh, right. The spread eagle naked on the street getting her nether bits whipped there. Yes. Okay, Kirsty, I'm with you now.
Yes.
There you go. Well, Maureen McDonnell was convicted of 8 counts, and the former governor was convicted of 11. Bob McDonnell was sentenced to 2 years behind bars last month. He is free on bond while he appeals the convictions of the 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which will hear arguments May 12th. If she serves the sentence, McDonnell would become the first modern-day governor's spouse sent to prison for felonies she was convicted of committing while she held the most ceremonial position. Giving a statement in her own defense, Maureen McDonnell fought through tears and asked the judge for redemption. WJLA TV reporter Jeff Goldberg tweeted, because, of course, like I said, you want news, it's Twitter. She alluded to the judge's statement at her husband's sentencing that said that she had let the serpent into the executive mansion. She says the venom from that snake has poisoned my marriage. Oh, yes. Yes, that's it. Mm-hmm. Has poisoned my family and poisoned the Commonwealth that I love. Well, at least she says that she loves her Commonwealth. Yeah. One of her attorneys, Randy Singer, said the legal team is planning an appeal. I think with what we saw today, it was fundamentally a good woman. She issued a heartfelt apology. She made mistakes, and she showed She owned mistakes that she made. Having said that, the Fourth Circuit has already found substantial issues for appeal that could overturn this verdict. We intend to file an appeal and pursue those issues vigorously. We will believe in Maureen's innocence, and we intend to seek her complete vindication. I'd be giving the judge a little more. I'd say, Your Honor, if you let my client off, we will take her out in the street, strip her naked, tie her spread eagle, and whip her nether bits. And I think most judges in the country would probably be okay with that.
You are a douchebag.
Well, yes, that may be so, but I really think that would be. I think that would be something really good. I think that would make the public feel good, the voters who put them in there. I think that's a good call.
Yes. It's the worst thing that's ever happened in our lives.
Well, if you have to go that way, sure, okay.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yes, we know, Louis. We did. Maureen McDonald's niece, Casey Dean, and her best friend, Mary Guy, were among those hoping to convince U.S. District Judge James R. Spencer that McDonald wasn't or doesn't deserve to spend time in prison. Witnesses focused on Maureen McDonald's stress and anxiety as First Lady. Oh, yeah, there it is. See, that's why I did it. I was so stressed. Yes. Oh, my God. Really? Wow, they're going there. I don't believe it. Noted that she hated public speaking. Yeah, I know. You're all just dumbfounded. Yes, the politician's wife who hated public speaking. Yes. Yes, her parents died. She became an empty nester and was going through menopause. Oh, yes. Well, we'll use the old menopause.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Thank you, Louis. Yes, you certainly did. Her daughter Rachel asked the judge to see the good in her mother by spreading her eagle naked on the floor of the court and showing him the inside. No, I was just making that up. Mom did not want any of us to testify, Rachel McDonald said. She really feels sorry for what she put us kids through. How about the voters? How about the state? How about the sovereignty of the office? How about oh my God, really? Well, juror Kathleen Carmody felt Maureen McDonald should serve prison time. She says there is no doubt in my mind that Maureen had a hand in all this and could even be considered driving the bus. Carmody believes, as prosecutors do, that Maureen McDonald serves less prison time than her husband because she was not an elected official or even a government employee for that matter. Bob McDonald won his request to stay out of prison pending his appeal, something Carmody finds distasteful. I felt that it was definitely part of him being high-heeled, connected, as opposed to the drug dealer who has to go into jail and wait his time until his appeal gets through. Yeah, well, fair enough, right? During the 6-week trial, defense attorneys tried to show that the McDonald's marriage was so strained that they were barely communicating and could not have conspired to solicit bribes. No. We're not talking.
I've said too much.
Yes. Well, her former top aide acknowledged calling her a nut bag, and that's a quote. So I'm a douchebag.
You are a douchebag.
Thank you. And Maureen McDonald is a nut bag. There you go. Official word right there. Well, do you think, ladies and gentlemen of my co-hosting jury here, do you think it's possible that the word heat wave would be mentioned for anywhere in the United States right now?
Yes!
Oh, yeah? Well, I know George is sitting pretty. It's not too damn cold where he is, but is there a heat wave? Well, apparently, according to the insiders who know, there's a heat wave right now in this country. Mm-hmm. In Reno, Nevada. Yes, this week it tied a record of 70-degree temperatures. No kidding. While much of the rest of the country suffers amid sub-zero lows, Reno tied a temperature high record yesterday by reaching 70 for the daily high. The city tied the record for the most 70-degree or greater days in February with 5. The National Weather Service made the announcements in, of course, a Facebook post. All your news and weather, Twitter and Facebook. There you go. Yeah. Residents shouldn't get used to the heat wave, though. A cool down is on the way. A cold temperature reached 71, breaking previous records of 69 set last year. And the forecast is, well, going kind of to hell from there. It's 64 is the high for today, 55 tomorrow, 43 Sunday. And if there's a God in heaven, come Monday, they'll be at minus 30 like the rest of us. So there you go. That's your your latest weather right there from Twitter. Yeah, there it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. That's not the right music there, Jenny. That's the right music, Jenny. Good girl. You you almost made it, so I'd have to strip you down naked, throw you down the street, tie you up spread eagle, and whip your nether bits with me. Well, Louis, any parting thoughts, Louis?
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that... Yeah? You think so, huh?
No, I don't.
Well, there you have it. What can you do? Kirsty, thank you for being here again. Wonderful to have you on the show. Any parting thoughts?
I think I've talked about potato guns and sacks and...
Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much done, huh?
Yes!
All right, well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And, of course, the one, the only George Takei. What can I say? Hey. Thanks for being on HTLA.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It has been a fantastic experience.
No, you say that every day. You do. Well, thank you all. Thank you also for HTLA and having us here. Once again, the opinions and comments on the show here are in no way those of HTLA Radio 1 New York. Throw that in before the lawyers call. To the rest of you listeners out there, I want you to have a great weekend, and we'll be looking for you again Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, for the Monday Mocha Coffee and Cigarettes with yours truly, and, well, Jenny and Kirsty and George and, well, maybe Louie.
About fucking time. Move on.
Okay, well, we could go for Mr. T. Huh?
Mr. T would be proud of you.
I know he would, and I'm going to get that straight from the horse's mouth next week. Yeah. Anyway, gang, have a good weekend. We are out of here. Bob's your uncle.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.